Hey everyone, welcome to Thursday. Oh, oopsie. Let me get back over to comments and then I believe eyeballs should start popping in. Oops, turn that down. I saw Cindy earlier. Welcome. This needs to be up. My thing that holds my iPad keeps wanting to like scooch down. So, okay, I think we're good. Yeah. As far as sound, Cindy, you'll have to let me know. Um, and I got ahead of myself. I got so far ahead of the game this week. I had this scheduled, I think, on Monday, which is not normal. I'm usually like a Tuesday, Wednesday kind of scheduler. So, hey, Debbie, awesome. Okay, so we got more eyeballs. Let's get into it. So I don't have a whole bunch. Sound is fine. Awesome. Thanks, Cindy. Um, It's actually home early today. So I got an email sent out a little bit ago that had like all the stuff that I wanted to update for March, but I'll just cover the highlights. Oh, first of all, welcome, Toni Tessler, ToniStamps, that's me. We are here to make stuff out of paper. Um, so March, hey Carol and Deborah Smith, awesome. We got two Debs and Gloria, sweet. So March online exclusives went live on Tuesday. I checked Tuesday afternoon and there was a lot of stuff that is unavailable. Mostly dies, and I just don't know why they don't have enough. But most of the things that I checked, because we can see like the inventory status report when it's expected back in, most of the stuff is coming in the week of March 23rd. So if there's anything that you are interested in getting, like, I wouldn't put off because, stuff will run out. They may or may not get more stuff, once we get over this initial hump. Um, do that sign up for email notification for when the stuff comes back in stock, because sometimes it comes back earlier and you don't want to miss it, right? So make sure you do that. Paper share. So the first batch of paper shares I ordered, I want to say February 24th. That order just shipped on Tuesday. So they are behind. That was another thing I had to check the on the inventory, whatever they'll say, or the weekly updates. They are running 5 to 7 days behind shipping. So what I would normally see shipped like the next day or the day after and to arrive to me in 7 business days, that's added another 5 to 7 days. So the first paper share order that I put in, like I said, the 24th, it shipped Tuesday. It's not going to get here till next Tuesday. What is coming Tuesday, the 10th, which guess what? I leave for convention on the 11th, which I forgot for when I put the dates out. So first batch, it's all going to have to wait till I get back from convention anyway. But second batch, the second paper share order, I put that order in, I want to say Tuesday, because when everything went live, because I could only order like enough, for the first one. Anyway, that hasn't shipped yet because, 5 to 7 days behind. So I imagine that will get here. Look at my calendar. Ugh. I didn't flip my calendar that I make for myself. So that hasn't shipped yet, and it is the 5th. So that'll probably be the week of the 15th or 16th that I will get that second paper share order. Which brings me to a third one. So, hey, Jamie Gibbs. Hey, Sharon. Carol. Awesome. I had, after I put in the first and second orders, then I had somebody else that wants it. So I've started another list. I need groups of 4, though. So I need 3 more people. If you're interested, it's still the same price, like $30 if you're local. Sorry, 39 if you need it shipped, and just email me. So if you want to get in on that, and I can send you PayPal invoice, or I have Zelle now. Mm-mm-mm. All right, paper pumpkin price increase. So last week we talked about new style ink pads. I think I talked about the catalog schedule, right? Um, I don't think I talked about the paper pumpkin price increase because I may not have seen it. So as of March 11th, so this month paper pumpkin kit, the one that is going to come with an extra set, and it's got like hummingbirds and it's like springy and like foily bits, that we have to be signed up for by March 10th, right? That's when they run the first um orders. Hey Marlene, hey Rose. So March 10th, everything is the same price. As of March 11th, the pay as you go. So like if you have the monthly subscription, it's going up $2. So right now it's $27. It's going up to $29. The 3 month, 6 month, and 12 months, those all include shipping, but they're also going up. So just right now, the 3 month subscription is $81. That's going to $87. The 6 month is 162. That's going to 174. And then the 12 month is 324, and that's going up to 348. Now don't forget, you also get the stamp and rewards on those. So even on the monthly pay as you go, like if you know every month you get one, you would get at least $2 on the on your stamp and rewards. So Carol, you got your package today from the day of free shipping. See, it's crazy. They must have really got backlogged with free shipping. Yeah, because I didn't get to put my order in until after free shipping because I didn't, I didn't get to take advantage of that. So, yeah, wah wah. All right, so yeah, paper pumpkin increases, new catalog we're gonna see soon. So next week, just real quick, and then we're gonna get into this because I have cute spring ideas to share. Um, hey, Jamie's cousin Tian, how are you? Awesome. Um, so next week I'm not going to be live because I'm going to be hanging out live in person with Rose and Marilyn. We're going to be in Long Beach, California at convention. Well, on stage they call it. So, and that's like, and Thursday I think is the first day of it. I'm getting out there Wednesday, and then Rose and I are going to do some fun things, and then it starts Thursday. So, I'll be posting as some pictures as I can, but I won't be here live. Then the following 2 weeks, with work with the current situation, the crisis on the other side of the world, my office is going to 24/7 and I got night shift. So, unless that changes, starting the week of the 16th, like I get back from convention on the 15th, that's a Sunday, and then Monday I start night shift. So I'm doing 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Ugh. So it's not the end of the world, but I don't know. I'm certainly not coming on Thursday night at 8 p.m., but I'll have to see. I don't know what my sleep schedule is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to stay up after I get home and then sleep until right before I go to work, or if I'll go to sleep right when I get home and then get up earlier. Like it's going to take me a couple days to adjust. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. Okay. So, hey, Belinda. Awesome. Hey, Lisa. So I'll keep you guys posted. But I'm going to have to be in flux on the last 2 weeks of the last two Thursdays. And who knows, like once I get back from convention, if this is all over and done with, we'll see. Yeah. So, all right, let's go down and talk about what are we going to do today. So I wanted spring and Eastery stuff for today. I really haven't used this enough. It's super cute. I love this reason to celebrate, and because this has everything. Like we're going to use St. Patrick's Day. Did I even pull that out? Yes, I did. Okay. I loved it for Valentine's, Easter, birthday, of course, graduation, New Year, like all the good things. These really cute, and the matching dies. We're going to pull in this shamrock. And actually, I think I want that little sprinkle. Did I get that out already? Nope, here we go. All right, so I have just about every block that I own is in use. All right, so we're gonna use that. And I'm gonna throw in this lasting linen background. I got this. This was an online exclusive. I think it went back to November. I'm not sure, but it's just a good generic background for lots of things. All right. So after I made my Easter basket bundle mini album, these are the only papers I had left. A nice 6x6 piece of this stripe, this little whatever you call that pattern, these flowers, and some little bits. So I cut for our first one. We're gonna go with we're gonna make a 4x6 card, and I've got the base here. So we're doing Shy Shamrock. So you cut your cardstock 6x8 and then score it at 4. All right, and gotta tell you, I was a little frustrated right before I came on. I was trying to change my printer cartridges on my laser printer. 45 minutes, like, should be plug and play, but I had to reset a bunch of stuff. It was just annoying. All right, 2 pieces of, and it's gonna sit like this. 2 pieces of basic white that are 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And for the new people, don't worry about measurements so much. I take pictures and then I update my blog with all that stuff sometime this weekend. I always try for Saturday, but it's definitely done by Sunday. Of course, if you want to write them down, if you want to get creative, like right this second, go for it. That's what I try to tell you as I'm going along. But I do follow up with that. All right, so 2 pieces. So the second piece I want to build. So I want this to be like panels. So I've got 4 different pieces of designer paper here. And this is a mix of the Easter Joy papers and the in color papers that are going away. So, don't forget the in colors: Peach Pie, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, Shy Shamrock, and Summer Splash. Those are all going to go away with this annual catalog that ends in April or very beginning of May. I've noticed some of the card stock for those in colors is already on low inventory. And at this point, I don't expect them to reorder things. So if you want like a pack of Pretty in Pink cardstock, like, I would get it sooner rather than later. So just so you know. All right, so all these little bits are 1 7/8 wide by 2 7/8 inch tall. So if there's any, like this one, that has a direction of the pattern, just make sure you pay attention to that. All right, and so I'm using this. We're going to glue all these little panels on here just so I have, a guide. Otherwise, I'd have to try to eyeball and glue it on here nice. No, that's too hard. So it's easier just to use something. And if this wasn't quite right, like if the panels hung over a little bit, that would be fine because we can just trim it. But we're just going to glue these down. And yeah, I can tell already that they're hanging over a smidge. That's fine. Totally fine. I don't even know if I will cut it off. We'll see. All right, so I'm just lining everything up so it's nice and straight. Now you can change this around for any season or occasion. Like, this is going to be Eastery, but if you want this to be birthday, you just change out your papers accordingly. And I feel like I need a smidge of glue right in that corner. Okay, so there's our panel. I like it. Love, love, love. So the Shy Shamrock background, like the card base, really pulls this out. Okay, now we want some bunnies. So from our seasonal celebration set, where'd my bunnies go? Oh, here we go. I've got the head. And I've already stamped and cut Lemon Lolly and Balmy Blue, but I want to stamp and cut Pretty in Pink and Peach Pie. Let me just wipe this down. Peach Pie and Pretty in Pink. So I'm just going to stamp these and we're going to hand cut because there's no dies with this set. You don't always need dies. All right. Ooh, I had a little something on there. So see this little schmutzy? I don't like it. Let's clean that off. I must have just got something on there, and then we'll try it again. All right, stamping. Now, if you think this peach pie is too bold, you can stamp off again if you want a lighter version, but like that is really light. So, I want it the full strength, so it can match this layer anyway. All right. So if you don't have this bunny, just any bunny, the idea is kind of like a Warhol technique, like Andy Warhol, where you do the same image multiple times in different colors. You'll see a lot of like colored background and then you stamp all the images in black. I've done that for a Warhol technique. That's a weird one too. Like that landed strangely. All right, that's much better. I can live with that. And then there's a cute little bunny face that goes with this stamp. So either any kind of black that you want. I'm going to use my VersaFine. Where is that face? Did I pull that out? I should have. Like I said, I've got all my stamps are being used, or my blocks. Yeah, so the face is here somewhere. All right. Let's find it. Chicky, happy, flower. Hello, spring. Oh, right here, hiding in plain sight. Okay, so we've got this cute little face. And I'm just gonna try to land it in the same spot on all of them, but you know, it's not the end of the world if I don't get it perfect. So yeah, you could do early espresso if you didn't want to do black here. Oh, for cute. And if you're wondering, I'm going to put Happy Easter on the inside of this card because I don't really want to, it's not going to fit. All right, let's put these in. Let's glue this first. So see that it's hanging over a little bit? I'm fine with that. Doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to glue this down first and just center it best you can. Okay. Cute. And then our little bunnies, we're going to pop them up and use your dimensionals, use your foam tape if you have dollar store stuff. I still love the dollar store foam tape. It's a good value. And I should drag that out considering how many of these dimensionals I'm using. But I do kind of want to use this batch of dimensionals up. This batch seems a little thinner than normal, like not as tall. All right, let's cut these. So yeah, if you have a scan and cut, that will save you some time. I do not. So I'm just going to get these. And I want to keep them like similar as far as the amount of white space around the bunny. So They look like overall shorts. Oh, cute. That's a good idea, Lisa. Yeah, without the face. I swear, people see different things, and then that just gives ideas. All right, so I'm just going, kind of slow. Don't rush. Because like I said, I want to have a uniform look to these bunnies. I'm also trying not to get my finger on the black part, the face, because that ink that I use, the VersaFine Onyx, that stays wet for a really long time. But it is such a good, crisp black ink. I overlooked that. All right, next one. Yeah, it seems like Easter's early this year. I know it's been earlier. I know it's been in March, but still like that first weekend of April. I'm just looking, my own calendar like, eek, I don't have time for all the things. So yeah, I'm very excited. I fly out Wednesday morning, and I will get to hang out with Rose and Marilyn. We're going to have a good time. Oops. And we did, at least Rose and I signed up for this. It's like an evening extra class, like that comes with like new stuff from the next catalog that's coming out. And it's like a bunch of greenery. It's like a stamp with leaves and stuff that my black thumb would kill pretty immediately. But I usually like the stamps and stuff that are like green stuff, plants. Not that I've gotten every single one, because I haven't. So eventually they all look the same. All right, but we're going to have fun in that class. And we'll be in California, so hopefully nice weather. All right, let's put these bunnies on here. All right, so I want this tone on tone. So like pink on pink, peach on peach, and then these I'll do yellow and blue. All right, so just eyeballing. I want it within. I decided on the measurement of these pieces, 1 7/8 by 2 7/8, based on how big the rabbits were. So just keep that in mind. If you're using a different image, you could size up or size down, whatever panels you need. And that still lets enough of the pattern peek through for the pattern paper, so you see. But cute. Cute, cute. So yeah, any spring colors. Oh, I love it. These also remind me of Peeps, just because. All right, ooh. All right, that looks close enough. Ugh, so cute. I love it. All right, so I've got some of these party dots. I don't think these are current anymore. I think they went out of stock. But I'm going to add just a couple. I'm going to do like one. Oopsie, little glue boogie. All right, 1, 2, and I'll do 3. And these are Peach Pie, Pool Party, and Pretty in Pink. So you know what? I'm gonna use all little ones, and then I'll do some 1, 2, 3. Do Pretty in Pink over there. So yeah, last night, completely unrelated, we went to DC and saw Journey. They were amazing. They always do a good show. But this time, I guess because it's like they're really retiring, all the band members got to sing. So it wasn't just like the lead guy or that Neil guy that does a guitar. It was like everybody, both the keyboardist got to sing, the drummer got to sing. We thought that was really cool. I love this. You know what we can do is put some shimmer, at least on the eyeballs. I mean, not the eyeballs, the ears. Oh, cute, cute, cute. So this is the shimmer brush pen. This one is close to my heart. Stampin' Up sells the Winkastella, but I also, when this runs out, I have a batch that I got from scrapbook.com. So just keep in mind you want good value. I love it. All right, so let's do Shy Shamrock. I just want to tie in the the Shy Shamrock Easter. We're gonna do Happy Easter. Is that clean? Yeah. Oh, cute. All right, I'm just eyeballing, trying to get that straight-ish. All right, and then I'll take the Happy, and we're gonna do that in Pretty in Pink. And I gotta bring this a little closer to my head because I want this like right over top. Ugh, so cute. I love it. Cute, cute, cute. All right. Now you could add our paper pumpkin from last month had 2 Easter eggs. So like this little one is from the Easter basket bundle, but these 2 came from the paper pumpkin. So you could stamp some of these too. I'm not going to because I would want to do them in different colors and I ain't got time for all that. But that's cute. All right, so that's our first one. And yes, I would either have to make an envelope or so this card is 4x6. You could totally just put this in a 5x7 envelope and don't worry about it because that is mailable and you don't need anything special. All right, so that's our first card. Next, we're gonna make a little box. So with these dies, you can cut this basket. Obviously, you can, add this to a card or whatever. But I'm actually going to make a little treat box with that. So you need 2 of the baskets, and I cut them out of basic beige cardstock. You could do beige, you could do white, you could do crumb cake, like whatever you want. So the die cuts these little slits out of it, and then this one cuts the strips. So I ran this through with like a couple different colors. So the weaving part is kind of a pain in the butt, but I got through it. But actually, let's make the box first. So our little box, I want a box that this is going to go like this, right? And then I'm going to make a box that fits inside there. So I wanted the box to be the same width as like the bottom. So it's like 2 1/4. I wanted the bottom to be 2 inches wide. And then I didn't want it to be taller than this part. So I want it to be 1 1/4 inch tall. So in the end, we're going to have a piece that is 4 1/2 by 3 3/4. And here's just a general pattern. 4 1/2. This is the 4 1/2 side, although that looks wonky, but all right. We're basically going to score every side at 1 1/4. All right, so this is 1 1/4. This will be 2, 1 1/4, 1 1/4, because I want it to be the width. So like in between here, I want that to be 1 1/4 as well. And 1 1/4. So here we get 3 3/4. And this is 4 1/2. All right, so that's just a quickie breakdown of the measurements. So we've got our paper. just pick whatever side you want, and we're scoring at 1 1/4. Turn it, 1 1/4. Turn it, 1 1/4. Turn it, and 1 1/4. Sparkly potatoes. They do look like potatoes. That is funny. Oh wait, is this weekend daylight savings? Or is it next weekend? Hey Cheryl. It is this weekend, isn't it? Yeah, I wish we could be done with that. It's such a pain in the butt. All right, so assembly. All right, so this. So see our rectangle, like we're going to put it here and here. So I want, for this one, we're going to cut straight up both sides of these score marks on this side. So 4.5 inch side this way, we're going to cut our strips from the sides. And that's going to make a little bit more sense once I show you. All right, now let's just cut these off. So this box is pretty easy, but it's just to do like the sides are going to come up. So it's not, it doesn't have a lid. It's an open box, like really just the bottom. And I like this style for certain things. All right, so fold and burnish all your sides. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Oops, let me just cut that little hanging chad off. Burnish, burnish. Get these little chads. Okay. So if you didn't have the Easter basket, you could just make this little box and then whatever fits on the front and back. All right, so here's our box. So it's coming up the side like this. These pieces come in and we're going to glue the sides up and over. So it doesn't matter that they don't quite match. Don't worry about that. All right, so let's just put some glue. I'm going to start with this side. All right, I want to turn it. And then the bottom of this panel, I want it flush with the bottom of our box. See, like that? Nice and flush down here. And then this is going to come over. So let's do this side first, though, so it won't be like too difficult to get this together. So same thing, let's put a little bit of glue here. And this side, the bottom, flush with the bottom of our box. Cute. And then these will just come up and glue right on here. I love it. All right, same thing. Now this time we can use the top to measure too, to make sure everything is just nice and straight. There we go. Cute. So here's our little like treasure chest box. And then we're going to glue this here and the one on the back. So this is what I'm saying. If you don't have this basket, whatever, you know, let's see, do I have like a bunny? You could even just put like a bunny on here. Like whatever you have. And then you could do like a handle to make your own little basket. But for now, we're going to glue this on. And I'm just going to put glue right here. And I'm trying to eyeball it and get everything in the center. Good. All right, now let's make the back piece. So we've got our basket. And like I said, it cuts these slits out for you. So I'm just going to do the weaving the same as I did on this one, because why not? So I started from the back. And the first ones are easier because these slits, like you can move them up and down so you can easily fish this through. By the time I got to the top one, I was struggling. And of course, the first one that I made, they all went through like super easy. All right, so I weave all these through and then glue the ends down. All right, so let's just tug this down a little bit and then pink, and then I just did opposite. So like here, I started on the bottom, pink, I start on the top. And this is just gonna take me a couple minutes. And I didn't want to do both of them ahead of time because I wanted you to see what you have to do. All right, now it's wanting to give me a hard time. Come on, go through. Okay. And pop back through. There we go. Ooh. All right, squish that down. Yeah, I was tempted to just do 3 colors when I was putting the other one together. All right, and all these little hairy bits are annoying. Okay, so I'm starting from the bottom. Oh, come on. Get in here. There we go. Jeez. Actually, maybe I do need to squish this down a little bit more. Although that might be making it tighter, huh? All right. So this is definitely a 2-hand job. And every time I think of that, I know Rose has got something to say. Inappropriate. Okay. But yeah, maybe even 3. I don't know. I feel like I need an extra. Oh, come on. Get in here. Okay. Started from the bottom. All right, there we go. All right, so push that one, and then there we go. Push it through from the right. Okay, there we go. All right, one more. And hopefully this isn't going to be a struggle. So yeah, I put all these in first, and then I went back and glued the ends and then trimsies. All right. Let's see how bad this is going to be. All right, top. 3 strips might really be the most ideal. I mean, yeah, see, now it's starting to bend. I want to push it through here. Basket weaving, I'm not the greatest. Okay. And I'm only going to mess with this for so long before I'm like, nope. Although I do kind of want them to look the same. All right, let me try this. Jam this down. See, I do need 3 hands. I need 1, 2, there we go. Push that through. And then the back side. Okay. A little bit better. All right, pulling. Oh, all right. Eek. Okay. Oh, that was starting to go. All right, cool. Okay, we're almost there. How are we on time? 8:39. Okay. Not horrible bad. I will tell you, we're gonna do another, what was that card that I made last week? Turn my notes. Spiral card. I really wanted to do one with shamrocks. So that's what we're doing next. All right, once I get this pulled through. Okay, here we go. Almost there. All right, get that in there. Okay, so I'm having good luck, like pushing it through, like from this side. But I gotta get that teeny little edge right there. Mm-mm-mm. Come on. All right, and it might be a good idea to cut a second one, like if you want to make this a little bit more stable. All right, I just don't want this to rip. Okay, I feel like it's, nope. I need to hold this like a shoehorn. There we go. Okay, that was a little bit tricky. All right, good enough. So I'm just gonna like flip each one up and put a tiny little spot of glue. And then I'll flip these. All right, squish all this and get the extra glue off my fingers. All right. Whew. Yeah. All right, so now all we have to do is come around here and trim the side bits off. Okay. Sweet. Let's get these extras out of here. And cute. All right, this definitely has a back side to it. I don't know, you can't really tell, but when you die cut, like this is like raised up some. So like that's the back and this will be the front. So again, I'm just gonna put glue right on here. And then I'm going to just eyeball for the center. That looks good. Pinch and just press in from my fingers. Oh my God, so cute. All right, so I did want to add a little bunny. I hand cut a bunch of these eggs for my, when I was making my scrapbook. So like, let's just pull some of these out. Oh, let's do a little, do I have a little blue one? Yeah, I want the little blue one, not the big one. Cute, cute, cute. And I can either use this bunny. No. All right, we're going to use the chocolate bunny. Cute, cute, cute. All right, we're going to pop him up. And actually, let's do, let me just grab a pink marker. Let's make his nose pink, whatever color this is. Flirty Flamingo, which does not show up well on the crumb cake, but that's all right. All right, I'm just going to put a little glue right here and have it on the ground so he's like flush with the ground. Oh, I love it. That's cute. All right. I don't really know if I want to cover up all these cute baskety weave patterns though. So maybe we'll just do like that egg and one here. And they can overlap. I just don't want them to go past the bottom of the box. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. And what can you fit in here? Well, I do have some, what are these? Lindors. So I thought one would fit in there. And then if you had other little candies, you could put, I don't know if the Cadbury eggs would fit, but cute. I love it. Yeah, definitely Easter grass. Oh, Lisa, you like this? This was like cranberry, like holiday color, but it was for Valentine's. Yeah, definitely a handful of little Easter grass if you have pets that won't eat it. I quit buying that years ago because my first cat loved to get into it. Really cute. And you could add like a little bow ribbon. Um, let's just see. I happen to have, this is old. Old meaning just like retired. Look, I never even used this, open this yellow one. But we can make a little, like, tie a knot of ribbon. Make a tiny little bow. Let's see. I do have a little bow maker, but let me just see if I can get this good enough. So make yourself a little bow. Oh, cute. Mm-mm-mm. And then we could put that like right there at the top with some glue dots. Cute, cute, cute. All right. This going, and here's a glue dot or two. Actually, we could put it right here too. Yeah, let's just put it at the side because I don't know how top heavy that's gonna make it. Like, I don't want to wreck the handle. All right, so two glue dots. And let's smash this on. Cute. I love it. Cute, cute, cute. Couple little treats. Good to go. All right, so we got two more cards. Ugh. All right, so Shamrock Spiral card. So we went through spiral cards last week, so this will be kind of quick. But we'll have the base of our cards. It's going to be Shy Shamrock, 5.5 by 8.5. Score that at 4.25, and I want this one to be this way. Then I've got two pieces of basic white. This is for the inside, and these are both 4 by 5.25. Then I've got two pieces of the Shy Shamrock in color paper, and I've got two patterns actually. On the front cover, this is 4 by 5.25. For the insides, this is 2 by 5.25. So I'm just going to put these on the edge. Okay, and then this one over here. And this is just to make it, not be boring on the inside. Scooch that. All right, that looks like it's hanging over a smidge. All right, good enough. All right, so we're going to glue these to the inside. And I did already cut some shamrocks because I wanted 7. I don't know if I'm going to use them all, but from last week, that seemed to be a good number. All right, so there's the inside bits. Our outside bit, I want the leafy print. You could go this stripes too. And by the way, this in color paper pack, this is from like last year's prints, not this year's, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so there's our base. Now let's do our spiral. So again, you want a piece of window sheet or transparency. That's what I have. Flimsy transparency sheets, 3 by 3. I just have this 3 by 3 piece of basic beige so you can see me cutting it. So we want to start out with a circle shape. All right, just kind of cut these corners off. Obviously, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you die cut a circle shape, that would work too, but we're starting from a square, so this is good enough, y'all. Okay. Hi, Deb Rogers. All right, now we want to cut a spiral, and we want to have like about a 1/2 inch width. And I'm just eyeballing. And go as far to the inside as you can. All right, that is going to be good enough. So let's pull this off. Yikes. Come on. All right. So last week, when I told you you want to glue it like as close to the inside, I'm going to try to glue it a little bit further. So the part that's got like the tail, I want to put 2 glue dots on the back of this. All right. And let's just get these out again. So on the back of my tail, and this is hard to see, clear on white. I get it. Ah. All right, let me pick these off. All right, so I want to start this like, so this is in like the upper rightish corner. I'm just going to put it like kind of middle-ish this time and see how it goes. All right, so that is stuck down. Now on the top of the very center of our spiral, we want to put some more glue dots. And I'm going to go with 2. All right, so pick those covers off and then just shut your card. Smash it, burnish it. Then when we open up, we've got our spiral. I love it. Very cool. All right. I like it. All right, so I stamped, so same set that the bunny came from, our bunny slash potato slash overalls. We've got this shamrock. So I already stamped and cut 3 out of lemon lime twist, 2 out of granny apple green, and then we'll do 2 more in shy shamrock. And then I will cut these out. Is this gonna fit? Yeah. Okay. And then we'll do our greeting as well. Let me just wipe this off. All right, so the greeting, you just need a scrap of basic white, and we're going to be using the Happy St. Patrick's Day. So if you have a different happy, like if you like a bigger happy, go for it. I'm actually going to do the St. Patrick's Day in Timid Tiger, just so it shows up a little bit more. And I'm just going to stamp in the corner here. Ooh, I love it. And then we'll do happy in Shy Shamrock. And again, like in the corner, I like it. And I'm going to cut this. I'm just cutting this by hand. I'm trying to keep it a little bit straight if I can, but I'm not worried about if it doesn't end up perfect. All right, that is pretty good enough. Okay, so let me cut these real quick. So if you had the, was it last year that they had the Shamrock set that had a punch? It had the clover like this, or the Shamrock, whatever, and it had a punch. So if you had that, you could just punch, punch, punch. The other thing, last week I said, for these spiral cards, that you would want something, you would want the same image to back it. That's why like punches would be good. Well, I'm not doing that this time because I did cut. So I cut these kind of the same. And I was hoping that if I matched them up, like flip them around, they would match. Well, they do, except for the bottom part. So that's why I was like, you know what? We're not going to bother having a second layer. I think that was more for stability anyway, and to hide like the glue dots on the back. And in fact, I think that's why one of my bees last week didn't flop as much, because I think it was just too heavy with the 2 layers. But live and learn, right? Try it, without it. See which one way you like better. But for this card, I'm not doing like a double layer. All right, just gonna cut that. And get that out of here. And we'll cut this one. Cute. So yeah, use like a couple different shades, whatever shades of green you have. I mean, they'll all go together, really. Think of outside. There's so many different shades of green together. I think I'm going to like the new, what is it? Pine something or other. The new shade of green, the new ink color that's coming. It's kind of soft, but not like totally soft, like soft sea foam. I thought it was pine something. But I usually like all the greens anyway. So yeah, new ink colors. Rose and I are going to get to see those next week when we see that May through August catalog. So again, if you missed last week, I think I talked about this some. They're going to 3 catalogs a year instead of having an annual catalog that's good like May through April. It'll be 4 months, 4 months, 4 months. And this was a carryover. Close to my heart did this. And I don't think it's a bad idea. We'll see. All right, so I want at least one Shy Shamrock. I want 2 different color ones here. Oh, I love it. All right, let me get a scrap of the Shy Shamrock. Pull out my scrap bin. All right, that'll work. I'm just going to layer this. And then I will trim this. And once we get our cover, or the front of our card, then we can add the magic of the spirals inside. That's gonna be the cutest. All right, let's do at a jaunty angle, and then we'll pop these guys up. Dave is down there making a roast. I can smell it. All right. Cute, 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 cute. All right, this one, we're gonna go like right here. I don't want to cover up the happy. I wonder if I want that to switch these. Because I don't want like green, green. Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. Oh, God, that's cute. All right, now to attach our inside bits. So again, you want glue dots, and we're gonna figure out where. Ooh, I'm gonna put that one like right there. So I'm gonna put some glue dots. Let me just turn this way. So this curve of the spiral, I don't know if you can see that, but that's gonna land right there. So I'm gonna put glue dots right there and try to remember where I had my finger. Cute, cute, cute. Yeah, I think these spiral cards are cute for anything that will be flying. All right, let's try. Sure I can see, because I want these glue dots to be behind. Cute, cute, cute. All right, now I want to cover up both ends with something. All right, I'm going to do this one here, and I'm just going to glue this down just because I want different colors. Like this is one of the granny apple. So I'm covering up that edge of the spiral, and that's just going to help it stay tacked down. And then we can put this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. No. I'm going to do this one here. And yep, I'm just going to glue that down right over top. And I just want to make sure everything shuts still. And it does. All right. Oh, cute. All right. This one. So, how about I can get this close to the middle, and then I just want to make sure it's going to shut. Yep. Okay. About right here. So I'm just kind of eyeballing where to put my glue dots. And if it turns out I need more, then I'll just have to go back and add more. All right. Let's try that. Oh, cute. And yep, so see here, you could see it turn. Cute. All right. Yeah, it looks like I can put another glue dot back here, but all right, let's do one more. I feel like I want to do it here. Yeah. All right. Hopefully this will land in a good spot. So these glue dots are from my leftover paper pumpkin and other card kits, really. All right. Let's see here if this is going to do it. Oh, yep. Okay. Cute. All right, that one does not want to close. All right, let me do this. Nope, we got to do this on the other side. Oh. All right, that glue dot really stuck. All right, because, all right, that's going to shut. I feel like I want to put it like, I do want it to go that way. Oh, okay, that works. So, all right, I almost had it. Let's just put the glue dot. I know this is hard to see. All right. I'm just pressing down the transparency so I can see where to put that. All right, so see there, I had to put them right under there. All right, but it's closing now. Yay. So that's what it looks like. Super cute. All right. So that's that one. And we could put some more like rhinestones or something on it, but let's get to the last card. All right, so the last one is going to be super simple. This is basic white thick, 5.5 by 8.5. So if you're going to make a white base card, I really do suggest you use thick cardstock, whether it's from Stampin' Up! Or another company. Just thick, 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 right? You don't want it floppy. All right, now for the base, this is 4 by 5.25. This is where I wanted to use the linen background. And I want a very light background. All right, let me get this background stamp. Ugh. I am not happy that I decided to glue these acetate sheets down, especially for this background stamp, but oh well. Live and learn. All right, so I'm putting the flat side down, and let's go with guess basic beige, or no, crumb cake. All right. So I'm just gonna tap, tap, tap. And then I want this to be, see, a problem that is gonna get, we're not gonna have that problem anymore with the new ink pad style, with the magnets. All right, so just take a scratch piece of paper and rub your fingers over the whole thing to get that first layer of ink off. And then we'll just put this one down because I want this to be super, super light. And then press and rub again. See how we've got it just barely there, but that's like a good base. I like it. I will take this and I will run it under the faucet later. All right, so that's going to be our background. And I'm just taping this down flat. And then for this one, I'm going to take, this is one of the cute little die cuts from the Easter basket bundle that I had cut ahead of time. I've got some grass, and we're going to glue this little bit of grass down. So if you didn't have this grass die, you could just like cut your own, like take a strip and just make like grass like this, like, cut it real thin though, like blades of grass. So that's that. Oh, for cute. We're going to pop him up. I want to add just a little bit of color. I want like pretty and pink. All right, dark, pretty and pink. Dark. And then come in with hopefully light. Light. Oh, look, I grabbed it the first try. All right. And let's do his little, I know his tail isn't pink, but whatever. All right, and Winka Stella. I wanna cover all of this. Make it shimmery. And we're gonna pop this bunny up. And I'm just gonna use all my little bits here. Use all the pieces of your dimensionals. Cute, 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 cute. So yeah, I had to try to do spring Easter this week because I'm just not going to have a lot of time the rest of the month. All right. Oh, I love it. So cute. All right. Now, I did cut out a little carrot. I don't know if I wanted to use it or not. It's cute enough. I mean, I would color it, but I do want to add the greeting. So this Happy Easter comes from the same stamp set. Ooh, we could do Easter's on its way, or I was really looking for the Happy Easter. So just take a scrap of white, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to leave the carrot off because I don't feel like messing with that. I just want to stamp this in pretty and pink. So we don't have a whole lot of colors going on here. So it'll just be pink, and then our soft background, and then that Shy Shamrock grass. But this, think of more of a simple card. All right, and then I'm just gonna cut these, hand cut. Now the letters are already kind of at an angle. I'm just getting pretty close up there, so I'm just gonna follow the angle. All right, and then we're just going to say Happy Easter. Cute. Actually, let's just put it up there. I kind of like stuff close together, and we're going to pop this up. I like things closer together, like just so they're not in outer space. Like if I had the greetings all the way up here and this down in this corner, this would be like too much blank space in between there for my liking. So squish them together. All right, it's just cutting that little bit off just because it doesn't fit right here. All right, and trash. Ah, cute. And I do want to stagger that. Really cute. I like it. All right, and then we can add some more of these pink dots. And did I use all of my... Yep, I did. I had that those gems that were like strawberry slush and pretty in pink. And oh, cute. I got these. I'll use them on something else. So we'll just use these pretty pink ones, pretty in pink. And I just want a couple, like 1, 2, and then one over there. Let's do a big one right there, a little one, and then another. Let's do another big one. Cute, simple enough, but pop that bunny up, pop the greeting up, and then that shimmer. So that is this week's batch of craftiness. So let me put some of this out of the way and let's bring back the other. So we've got this card, we've got our basket. That is so cute. We've got, where did my other card go? A spinner card, or yeah, not spinner. Yeah, spiral card. So cute. And you can write down here. Just be careful shutting this. And then we've got our like panel, like our Warhol card. I really like this one too. I love all of them. And again, this was a 4x6 card, so just need a 5x7 envelope, or you can make your own 4x6 envelope. Oh, look, am I going to get this in here? So, Rose, the carrot's cute. It is. Maybe I could add that in there, like after the fact. We'll see. All right. So yeah, I will have, this weekend, I gotta get my swaps done for convention. Thanks, Cindy. Yeah, we are gonna have a good time. Rose and I always have a good time. But yeah, thanks, Deborah. I'll get my blog updated. I'm gonna aim for Saturday afternoon, okay? And oh, Jamie, you'll be over in 20 minutes for today's roast. Funny. All right. So yeah, I will catch you guys later. And like I said, next week when I get out to California, I'll try to post some pictures, but I won't be online. And then the next 2 weeks, we're just gonna have to play it by ear to see like what my schedule allows, right? So, all right. Good night, everybody. Thanks again. Oh, and by the way, like I said at the beginning, if you weren't here though, I've got another paper share request. So I need 3 more to fill that up. So just let me know. Yeah, Rose, I do owe you a B52 on coffee. Yep. Funny. All right. Thanks, you guys. Good night. Bye.